And so now it's time to talk about Jesse.
Okay.
And I thought I might embarrass you and read some of your accomplishments for the world to know. During his 20-year tenure at the League, Jesse Rosen has been instrumental in overseeing the renewed focus on developing research and creating new programs in the areas of equity, diversity, and inclusion, leadership development, governance, capitalization, community engagement. And then it says these programs have included Ford Made in America, the largest ever commissioning consortium, the Music Alive Composer Residency Program, the Governance Center, the American Orchestra's Futures Fund. Anyway, it goes on like that. And so now that we've embarrassed you, I would like you to talk a little bit about some of your proudest accomplishments at the League. And you know, what do you think about when you think back to what you've been able to do there?
Well, you know, the first thing I think of is our staff and their response to the pandemic, and you know, mounting an online conference. And you know, we had almost 4,000 people come, and the average attendance was about 450 people per session, as contrast with usually about 50 or 60 people. And it really is, and we got, you know, wonderful feedback from people, and people just said to us, you know, you're giving us exactly what we need. These are the conversations we have to have. This is the information we need to do our work. And also, so glad you did it online, because now we can come, we can participate. And
I should mention that the conference was in June, right?
yes, yeah, it was in June.
Right in the middle of it, yeah.
So, I'm just really proud of our staff, and I've never been prouder of them before, and more proud of them. And they were just magnificent. And you know, the ethos at the League on the staff is wanting to be helpful, and that's really what drives people. And I think they felt that, and they could see it in a very, very immediate way. So it was a very I don't know, enlivening, rejuvenating kind of experience for the staff, and people felt really good about it. And they felt good because it made a difference. You know, they could see the difference it made.
Right.
So that's one thing. And you know, everything else, I would say, you know, we do, and I mean, I do my job in a way that invites lots of people to participate and help and be part of the figuring out. And we've had wonderful partners from the philanthropic community, the Mellon Foundation, the Anne and Gordon Getty Foundation, to name a couple. We've had partners like Sphinx and New Music USA, American Composers Forum, and the New World Symphony, so on and so forth. And we have done what we've done in partnership with our members, you know, trying to listen a lot to what they have to say and what they're experiencing. But we also try to stay a little bit ahead of them and have a perspective that you know, looks to the future, and also looks sideways to what's happening in the wider ecosystem we operate in. So you know, within that context, I think one of the things at the League that I feel good about the League having done is to kind of promote what's become a shift in defining what is the work of orchestras. I gave a speech in Cleveland, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. It's called The New Work of Orchestras. And I think there is a new work of orchestras. And, you know, the old work was the work of building and becoming sustainable and professionalizing. And we did that really well. You know, it took a while, but we nailed it. You know, we built big endowments. We got great fundraisers and great marketing people and wonderful operations people and unbelievable sounding orchestras. I mean, just amazing, you know. And, you know, up and down the budget spectrum. But we hung on to that past when it served us any longer. And we weren't noticing how much, you know, things were beginning to change. And, you know, I think we tried to call that out to our membership, at least, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, and tried to point them to how we were being perceived, where the stresses were showing up in public policy, in philanthropy, in audience changes. We had a conference in 2006 in Nashville where we had, a bunch of the authors from Engaging Art, which was this big book done by Bill Ivey and Steve Tepper, where they basically pointed to all the new ways that art was being made in America. It was very, very revolutionary at the time. It anticipated, all the online stuff and cosplay and, all manner of internet engagement and how people influenced each other around what they listened to, what they paid attention to. And, so we kind of alerted our field that these changes merited some rethinking about how we did what we do. And, and I think we've been successful. It's not just us. I mean, there are other influences, obviously, in the system. But we really called out that what had been an intense internal focus on building our own capacity and on being really great sounding was no longer sufficient as a reason to be a player in the nonprofit arena. And it would be one thing if we were little like string quartets, but we're big. We take up a lot of space in communities, and we take up a lot of resources. So people pay attention. They hold you accountable. And so you can't say, well, we just love this and it's great and isn't it wonderful? And people come and they clap a lot and they come year after year. We got a great thing here. No, that's not a reason to do orchestra. And so there has been a shift. And I think it's been thrilling to see. And we see it in the community engagement work. And that's been growing for a number of years now. We did a study on this a couple of years ago that showed this huge increase in public value being created by our members. And but also we see it on the stage, on the main stage. And you look at some of the programming happening in subscription seasons where orchestras are seeing their core work as actually having social and public value. So I think that shift has been really exciting.
And I think that you've been the one leading the charge. I mean, there isn't any question of that. You've been dragging orchestras, kicking and screaming into today, which is fabulous, which is just fabulous. Well, so thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
Doing this. And stay in touch.
Of course, absolutely.